got France, you got the UK. You know, that's
right. The only one that's not Esau is Moab. You know, and Ammon, Japan. So they're gonna play a key in that too. But the majority of them, that's why the war's gonna kick off, because Moab is coming up. That's the problem. And as a result of Moab coming up, it's destroying the American. Do not forget that we were in the third year of a retail apocalypse. All right, that you had a housing bubble, that you had a car bubble, you had a used car. You have a used car bubble. All right, you had student loan bubble, right? Credit card bubble. This place was finished either way. All this thing did was speed it up. I'm glad it happened, because I kept thinking it was going to be faster. It was going slow, steady but slow. All right. Hey, COVID sped this thing up probably sped it up about 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
That's why he's trying to use it to cover his shame.
And it was that too. Right. The whole all the Hollywood and the military leaders and all the congressmen and stuff like that, they got caught up in the pedophile thing that they tried to make fun of. All right, tried to make light of the Pizzagate. But it turns out that a lot of this stuff was true. So you have that issue going on, and then you also have the opioid thing. That's what I'm about to go into. Oh, and now the new thing now is they're back on this cyber threat. Esau loves to create issues and give warnings of things that can't be fact-checked or proved. He can just say it in this media, but it's no way. Well, we can't do that because then we'd be in danger of national security. They like to come with these issues and problems and present it to the people, but they have no way of proving it to the people. I can just say, well, such and such, such and such, and they're like, well, can we see the evidence of that? Well, no, man, that's not how it works. So you can just say whatever the hell you want to say, man. You got a scripture.
You said that national security. Anytime somebody wants some kind of evidence, or Esau's supposed to bring something out, he always blames national security.
So we can't do it. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about.
Word for word, what you just said, there was a lady on the news right before we came to campus, and she was representing these restaurants, and she said that same thing. Can we see the evidence?
They can't produce the evidence. They'll just say it in their media. They'll say it on the news. It's the same thing with history. They'll say things and present false images, but they really can't produce the proof. All right? Because how many times have we went and seen the relics of certain individuals in time periods and find out that they look nothing like they've been presented to the world? All right? It's like everything about what happened during the time of the Grecians and during the times of the Romans and the Renaissance, but you know nothing about the Dark Ages. Well, there's a reason why it was called the Dark Ages. Wasn't because, right, it was nothing worth recording, so it was like that skit on Saturday Night Live when Richard Pryor found that book. You know? It's like, what did he say? It's nothing here.
Right.
Get to the bulldozers and they close the door on them, man.
Right. Leave them in there.
He was like, wait a minute, man. All these people was blackjack. You know, when he opened up the book, he was like, I'm taking this back to the hood. They started bagging up to the door. You know? They started backing up to the door, man.
Take the phone here, Rob.
Hey,
Hey, Shalom.
Well, it's St. John 8:44. It says, "Ye of your father the devil, and the lust."
No, we're not. We're Israelites, man. Oh, okay.
We're
Israelite, man.
John 8:44.
They're gonna get deep one day, too, man.
It says, "Ye of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it."
Very good, man. That was very good. And that dude, I know it's a chick just by his car. Because when no Hamite has a car like that. His car told him. Right. Way the rails and yeah. No Hamite doing that, man. But yeah. Go ahead, brother. Bring it up. I'm going to read it.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith." And you can tell, you know what I'm saying? Everything that he's about and stuff when it comes down to society, it's about death. You know what I'm saying?
God, he has a death style. right, this place has a lifestyle, not a lifestyle. Like that video that circulated about that Rockefeller who bought up all the medicine, bought up the you know, he took control over what do they call it, the RFD, what do they call it? The RFDA, federal drug, whatever. He took over that. So, and basically, what they did was they got rid of basically all holistic healing and healers. Remember, all those doctors kept so all the textbooks that talked about natural remedies and stuff, all that was done away with, and then this new science, pseudoscience, has been brought into place. Somebody get that real quick. Was brought into place to replace actual healing people. So you don't have physicians, you have doctors, and the word doctor means to falsify. That's literally what the word means. It means to falsify. So you don't have physicians healing people. You got people going to college to become doctors, and the word doctor means to falsify.
To falsify.
That's what it means. All right?
Case makes it slippery.
Now, if you put that on your test in Loyola, you're probably going to get that question wrong. But that's what the word means. All right? But nevertheless, that's what he did. But nevertheless, that's exactly what they did. They got rid of all these positions and got them fired, and the ones that were actually that had the nerve to speak up, they got them labeled as quacks. You know, they used their media to attack them, got them labeled as quacks and all that whole other sort of thing. And so only the doctors that are down with these addictive drugs, pushing these pseudoscience, false science, and these drugs, those are the doctors who get promoted. My doctor would every year would ask me about. I haven't taken a flu shot in 20+ years, and I haven't had the flu in longer than that. All right, the flu shot gives you the flu. It makes you sick. All right, it makes you sick, and all this, and it's real simple natural remedy. All you have to do is consume garlic, ginger, and lemon and onions on a constant basis, and it'll keep your immune system strong, and you won't catch any of that. And if you do get sick, you just take those things, grind them up, and drink them, and you'll get over your illness within days, man. That's how you do it. All right. And so anyone who's speaking that way, like I said, they took their textbooks and they took all that stuff out, and he took control over that. Why? Because it's all about money, man. The medical association, they're all about making money, man. So as a result of that, we've gotten to this. I saw an article, a video that popped up about drug addiction and white collar America right now. All right. So I looked it up, and I got like 5 articles here. It says number 1, American Addiction Centers, major statistics surrounding white-collar substance abuse. The Guardian, why professionals depressed and anxious are developing addiction. All right. Drug abuse. .government. Trends, Statistics, National Institute, drug abuse, NIDA. Oxford Treatment, addiction and white-collar professionals, Oxford Treatment. All right. Addiction and Surgeon General .gov. Facing addiction in America, the Surgeon General's report. These are all 2020 reports, man. By the way, there was one that I saw that made me laugh, and I wanted to just go right at it. A guide to addiction and recovery for white-collar Americans. Yeah, this place is finished, man. Right? And who's 90% of the white-collar Americans? So look, so who is opioids destroying the most? There we go. All right, so let's I'm gonna just open up one of these, and we'll start reading, and you brothers can hit it with the scriptures. This was October 13th, 2020, so we'll open that one. And it says, life and style. See, America presents what? A death style. All right, it says, why professionals? It says, why professionals depressed and anxious are developing addictions during COVID. Right? The pandemic is making use of the drug epidemic even worse, and many of its victims include white-collar professionals. And this is by Eileen Zimmerman. Well, we already know, right? It says, being somebody, you can go right back into the Habakkuk, you were right there, 2 and 16. Being a civil litigation lawyer is stressful and at best of times, but during the pandemic, the stress became overwhelming for Russell, a young attorney in Minnesota. When the lockdown began, Russell was already facing crushing workloads and multiple deadlines. By mid-March, he was so isolated, working from home without the support of colleagues or the structure of an office. Russell, who did not use his real name and spoke on the condition of anonymity, had been sober for nearly 4 years. So he was already had a drug problem. And it's right, after battling a heroin addiction. So now he got a lying-ass lawyer. I'm going to pay thousands of dollars for you to represent me, but yet I don't know nothing about your heroin problem.
They didn't sweep under the rug.
Exactly. Okay? Would you be able to be a law enforcement officer if you had a heroin addiction, an FBI, CIA, all right? But when the lockdown began, he felt the need of something to take off the edge. So he started using kratom, a herbal extract made from leaves of evergreen trees that grows in Southeast Asia. Kratom, which is legal, has an opioid-like effect on the brain, producing pleasure and sedation in small amounts. It acts like a stimulant. Kratom was helpful for a few days, then it wasn't. So this dude, hey, it said we will laugh at your calamity. Somebody grab that, man. Because, hey, I ain't feeling sorry for Russell. Fuck Russell. Even though he said that's not his real name, he's trying to hide his identity. All right? If you got that shake and feel on your go ahead, brother.
This Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. It says, thou art filled with the shame before glory.
Right.
It says, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shaving fury shall be on thy glory.
Like you said, man, them curses on your ass like a coat. Landing like a coat. So it says, Russell bought some heroin and overdosed in his home office. His girlfriend found him. So bye, Russell. All right.
Remember the movie Godfather? They were talking about, we got to keep this drugs in the dark areas, in the dark communities.
Hey, that's what was going on during the time of what was his name? The character that Denzel played that took over
Nicky
for
Barnes.
No, he took over for his name was Frank Lucas. Right, he took over after Bumpy Johnson died.
Exactly.
All right, and he took over the heroin in Brooklyn and Harlem, and he took it from who? He took it from the mob. He took it from he took it over from. So Frank Lucas became so powerful, man, that he stood up against the mob. Well, nobody standing up against the mob like that. Right. So they go to show you the mob don't have the power that it once had, man. This dude was able to take over Harlem from them, man. You know?
The end of that mob area.
Yeah.
Well,
matter of fact, a lot of them got sprayed up and beat down. You know? See, cause them mafia dudes were nothing but niggas from anyway, right? But they was able to terrorize all them Edomites. But then when Judah rolled up on their ass, all that shit changed. You know, because they'll still try to move like they got the pull, like they have control. Nah, man, you maybe got that full control back in Israel, right?
Right now, the enemy was the main people taking over the mafia, the Nigerians, man.
Wow.
Yeah, the Nigerians taking over the whole mafia.
They're probably taking over the Bali wives and daughters too. All right. You know Jake and all the doges ass. All right. But it says the bottom line is, I have a disease that justifies whatever it needs, and COVID gave me the justification, he says. So he did live. His girlfriend found him before he passed. The witness of the collision, that's okay. The Lord saved him from something worse. Right? Because now he's going to watch her get ran through. And then, then he probably going to get put to death, and they're going to steal all his food and his drugs. Right? It says, the witness, because that's what's getting ready to come. That's getting ready to happen. It's getting ready to be home invasions like a mug, man. You're getting very, very dangerously close to that. And we're probably the only people that's happy about it.
That's right.
All right? We are. It says the witnesses of the two collisions of two epidemics. The new one is COVID-19, and its own deadly consequences is the making of the epidemic that already existed. That's right, because Lisa Haven, I have to give credit to her, although she's getting on my nerves. with this black-only Israelite bullshit. All right, and look, Victor, you need to stick to showing history and put the Bible down, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Put the Bible down, sis, and stay with the news. All right, stay with what you're good at.
Turn the business.
Right. It says, all right, but and she brought it out that they lost 40 million, and 40 plus million in 20 something years. And of that, so 40 million people between the ages of 18 and like 30 something. So that's why they on the decline with babies, because most of their baby age making systems. All right, think about it. There's only about 325 million people in America. So if they lost 2 generations of baby age making people, come on, man. And if they give you those numbers, we know it's much higher. You know, right? Because Esau always downplays numbers, man. So if they're giving you 40 million, you know the numbers is much higher. All right?
I think a brother, he was out teaching with us. He said one white guy came to his job. He said, "Man, I'm the only one left in my family.
Damn.
They're all gone."
You remember we was in the weight room years ago? I think right before we was the truth. And my woman came to us. You guys got some dope. You guys got some dope. You ain't told us, my man. And they got mad too. They got mad too.
The black dudes get mad at me because I cursed her out. That's because I look like a fucking president. Rise her over. She was like, "Yo, man, what? She might want."
Damn. It says the drug epidemic is even worse. So the drug epidemic that has been created as a result of this COVID, because that's how many people are dealing with it. And, you know, and all these cats are trying to sell weed now, and that's a small thing. But they doing even way more what? Drugs, hardcore drugs, man. All right. It says, and many of the victims includes we often think as of society's least vulnerable, white collar professionals. Somebody give me that. Is that Jeremiah 30:7 or Deuteronomy 30:7? You know Jeremiah 30:7. That 30:7 would be good too.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. It says, "And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee."
And see, now the things that plagued us are plaguing them, and they can't handle it. That's the difference. All right, they're not built for that, man. They're not built for that. They don't deal good with stress at all, man.
Not at all.
They turn all kind of drugs and shit, and that's what happens, man.
Elder, you had crackheads working. I knew a lot of crackheads who had full-time jobs during the crack era. Jake on all type of drugs, because Jake already know the only way you can keep that buzz going, you got to go to that job.
Right.
You just had a new age spirit of bum motherfuckers in America, but before Jake ain't mind going to go work and get that money. He was looking for that bread, man.
I was going to ask that. That's just like in the hood. It'll be a crackhead there if you want to fix your car. Well, yeah, some of your folks, they have trade skills, you know?
Yeah.
They'll use that.
You know what? That was my cousin, man. You know, the water he cleaned from that now. He got over all that shit, but that was my cousin, man. He was hooked on that shit. But man, the dude could build a house from the ground up, man. He was a carpenter by trade, but he was good with electrician. He's a plumber, all that, man. You know, he could do it all.
Probably a little bit of nothing.
Yeah.
Around that time. Yeah. I got that Jeremiah.
Yeah, he did a lot of work on my mother's house, man. Hooked the house up. Both of them built her house and a building. You know?
Jeremiah 30:7. Alive, that day is great.
That was it was the Deuteronomy 30.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we can hold that. That's gonna come out.
In the Psalms chapter 10, verse 2, it says, "The wicked in his pride do a person before, let them be taken into the devices that they have devised."
Read it again, brother.
In the Psalms 10 and 2, it says, "The wicked in his pride do a persecute the poor, let them be taken into the devices that they have devised."
Right, so now it's taking them. Like I said, they can't handle it. No, that's good when you see it under the coat. All right, it says employment in a wide range of white-collar professionals, including finance, law, insurance, media, tech, sales, and advertising, has plunged. Why? Because they all hooked on drugs, man. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, business and professional services alone lost 1.5 million jobs since February. Leisure and hospitality has lost 4.1 million, and education 1.2 million. Lawyers are especially vulnerable to substance abuse. They already have high rates of depression, anxiety, and alcoholism. Why? Because they do nothing but lie and destroy people's lives every day for income. So they already have a hard time sleeping because you know you just sent that man, that woman to jail. You know, right? And you know that they were innocent, or you railroaded them, or you done took this man's house and way of living to pay this adulterous ass whore who's been sleeping around, and now she get rewarded. She get the kids, the house, and the car. You know. And so they have to. So that's why they all on drugs, you know. The Lord probably be the Lord be plaguing them in their dreams, man. So one of my Amalek type client, who's been my longest standing client, man. She was always taking shit to sleep. Couldn't sleep at night, man.
When I was in college and stuff, you had different Edomites. They take Adderall to stay up and to keep their mind focused. You know what I'm saying? So Esau always had something to say.
Drug addict.
Yep.
Can I speak this in right now?
Absolutely.
This is the book of Job 21. And like the elder said, them curses is tearing Esau up. This is how Esau used to live. This is Job 21:7. It says, wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from the fear, neither is the rod of the Most High upon them. That was at one time.
Yeah, that was basically, the highlight of that was the 1950s, all right, and the 60s, all right. As soon as they went into the heavens, you know, and more the 50s. The 60s was a slight decline, but 69 hit when they started flying up into the heavens. The Lord started bringing them down. America been on decline ever since, man. Vietnam, the gas crisis, and it just the whole Iran-Contra, all these little small skirmishes and what do we call it when they fight proxy wars? Yeah.
Then their great white hope leader gets shot in the 60s, JFK.
Yeah. Then Reagan. Yeah. It's been on a constant decline ever since, man.
You had the women's suffrage marches too.
Okay, the women movement where they give the women exactly.
Yeah. Where they give I am woman, I am servant. Hear me roar. What kind of servant roar, man? This shit is retarded, man. I am woman. Hear me roar. Woman means servant. Stupid. All right. It says they already have high rates of depression, anxiety, and alcoholism, and many are struggling. The New York City Lawyer Assistance Program recently held a webinar discussing substance use and mental health. Normally, a webinar like that attracts about 100 attorneys, says Eileen Travis, and the program's executive director. About 700 attended. I just told you to argue with somebody at Bellhouse in the back. Their bras are wearing them again. All right? Yeah, I was just arguing with some young dummy that don't know shit. It says, there's a tremendous fear, tremendous uncertainty, says Travis, man. So, I'm going to stop right there. We just keep it going. But yeah, they are uncertain. They're uncertain of their future, man, because Shalom, brother. They're uncertain for their future because they have no future, man. They precious murderous America, right? Talking about the land of the free and the brave. No, you're the land of murderers and thieves, man. I don't know if you saw the video that Brother Dana when he used the stolen car analogy, man, and how their own laws condemn them. Because he said basically, if you're riding in a stolen car, you know it's stolen, you're just as guilty. All right? If you're joyriding, he brought out all these laws that get you time in America. And then he brought the fact that white Christian Americans and evangelical Americans, all right, you stole America. And you own property in America that's stolen, and you bought it and it was sold. So everybody involved in the process is guilty, man.
They so wicked. In certain parts, like certain streets, in certain lands, but they still got the Gadite names, like Paul, and all type of Gadite names. But this is precept. Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places for all generations. They call their lands after their own name. All right, so you have streets. That is, different streets. Jack, all that's Esau's name.
Taylor.
Huh?
Taylor.
Yeah. Now, he's so wicked, he'll still keep that like Justice Story Memorial, how he took them down. You know, he'll keep that too.
Come on in, brother.
They acting like this land ain't stolen. That's a fact, you know.
I gotta do something. This is John 10:10. It says, "The thief cometh not but to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly." And this is what these Edomites do, man. That's why the majority of the jobs that they use and stuff that they go to are jobs where they get to carry firearms, man.
Exactly.
You know, because they got that perpetual hatred according to Ezekiel 35:5, and they really want to tear us down, man. You know, just like how Cain got mad because Abel did the right thing, but he did. You know what I'm saying? He come to kill his own brother. You know?
Psalm 73:5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. You know? Speaking on what the brother was saying and what's going on here in America, man. Esau is not in trouble. Elder just read an article about how you had the white collar Edomites with these jobs. You know, and who has all these white collar jobs? Esau, man. So let's point a finger at them. You know,
How is a black drug addict treated compared to a so-called European drug addict? You know what I'm saying?
He don't do the jail time. We talking about we call it sickness. They call it sickness.
Rehabilitation, intervention.
They were talking about how a crack rock can get you 10 to 20 years ago, and how powder cocaine will only get you slap on the wrist. You know. They were in trouble because who had all the powder? Esau did, man. You know? And the crack rock was put in our neighborhood to kill us all, man. And alive. And that's another cut to the devil, man. Because you just can't go pick up a crack rock. It has to be developed. Even cocaine has to be developed. All this stuff has to be developed, man. You know what I'm saying? Esau is the one who makes this stuff, man.
You got these factories, man.
I believe that was UCLA when they came up with that.
I think it was Berkeley, California. They were in Oakland. They was in Oakland when they developed the crack cocaine. That was the epicenter of that shit, man. And who was all in Oakland, man? Northern and Southern Kingdom people, man.
That made up the majority of Oakland. Those two, because Esau fled out of Oakland, because you had one side of Oakland was Northern Kingdom, the other side was mostly Southern Kingdom, and then you had a big area that they were mixed together. Because I used to train in Oakland at King's Gym.
Okay.
And King's Gym was sitting right in the middle of a Northern and Southern King neighborhood, man. And the gym happened to be called King's. And wasn't nothing in there, but you know, Judah and Issachar for the most part.
Kings of the earth.
Those are the most right, exactly.
That's
Bunch
spiritual.
of boxers and kickboxers. That's what was up in there.
Psalm 73:6. Therefore pride compassed them about as they change. Violence covers them as they garment, man. Is that not speaking about Esau, man? You know? Violence definitely them, man. You know? Oppression, man.
This is Job 9:24. It says, "The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And then he covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not where it is." So
What's it? Lucky JB, like, but you got wicked black people too. You got wicked. Everybody's wicked.
Right.
But does everybody run the whole earth?
Right. But they're giving.
Right, everybody don't run it. Somebody grab that Isaiah 25:7 and read that Job again, Papa Shah.
This is Job 9:24. It says, "The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it?"
Right, so Esau Edom put up his face in every damn thing. Like you said, he the Greeks, the Spartans, you know. Right, he the Egyptians, right, he didn't put himself up to be Gad, the Persian Medes. He didn't put his face up to be everybody. Anything that was done important in history, for the most part, he didn't put his face up, man. That it was him, and he's a lie. All right, right. Just like the video I did, you were not the Vikings, you were not the Brits, you're right. You were not the Europeans, all right. You weren't the Scots, the Germans. You were none of those, man. You came after the fact, and now you claim all those titles.
And you stole the shield, the coat of arms.
The coat of arms and put his own face on it, man. Get that Isaiah 25.
It's Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering pass over all people.
And that's it. So the Bible that's prophesied that there would be a people who were wicked, who were going to cover it up. And it was prophesied that the Lord, through his mouthpiece, which are the men of the Lord, because that's how this information came out, to the men of the Lord. Because Esau knew this information, but one of the professors in the colleges or anywhere, none of them bringing it out. And my one teacher in high school did, he got fired. All right? Yeah, so some of these teachers push the bullshit history book and start bringing out other books and trying to teach you, they get let go, man. Same thing in the churches, man. All right?
You got to stick to the curriculum.
You got to stick to the curriculum, means stick to our lives.
Exactly.
You're going to teach them what we want you to teach them. All right? You can go down the street with all that truth and shit.
Elder, that's why they keep bringing out the same book, but they keep taking things out of it. Like
revisions, because every so many years, information comes out. That's why, that's why I always say get them old books, man, old dictionaries. You get some old encyclopedias that's from the 1970s or earlier, they're gold mines, man. Because Esau put himself on blast, man. The older the better, especially if you can get books that are made around 50s, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s. Then those, you can get those books.
Great testimony. So all the libraries in America, man, they went around like probably 15 to 20 years ago, grabbing a lot of books and sending them to Washington. I'm thinking they were either burning them or just putting them in certain places.
No, they were burning.
They grabbed a lot of books and took them out of the library, like the books the elders said, the older books and stuff like that.
They was burning.
History books.
Ain't no reason to take them from one place and give them to another
Enough,
place.
man,
They was burning the books up.
Yeah,
because they had too much truth in it.
They have too much truth in it. See, and then what happens, like them, the used bookstores I used to go to and spend a lot of time in, and they shut down, and I found it recently, so you brothers can go check it out, right? But that book that is a gold mine, because you can get like really old books for like $4 or $5, $10. But it's on it's called, I think it's just called the used bookstore, but it's on Lake Street. It used to be on Wells. It used to be on Wells. No, not what's the street after Wells? It was on Chicago. You got Wells and what's the street? Franklin. It used to be right under the L tracks. Right. It used to be right there on Chicago and right. And because you probably can't do that now, but you used to be able to go in and sit down. And I'd be like one of the only Jakes in there. In them old book sections, because I would sit there and kill in between class, man. I had like 2 hours down. I would grab me a coffee and go sit there and go through. That's how I found a lot of those old books, man. But it's open. It's back open, and it's on Lake and Jefferson. Lake Street and Jefferson. That's where it is, man. You found it? Actually, that's it. That's it right there. You go in there, it's a gold mine, man. They got like old encyclopedias, old dictionaries. You can get Bibles, King James Bibles for that $2, $3. Yeah, I didn't know. Got a lot of books of Bibles. But I'm telling you, man. But they got, matter of fact, I just found the book Macbeth, the graphic novel Macbeth. And you know that's all Jake. But of course, all the images are Esau. They are.
Watch it out.
But nevertheless, just a little rough, But like we said though, that covering that he cast has been destroyed, man. Why? Because if somebody gets that, he reveals his secrets to the prophets, all right, and then by the mouthpiece of his prophets, get those two real quick. Then whatever.
It's Amos chapter 3, verse 7. It says, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
Huh? Yeah, we dealing with the secrets right now.
We bringing the secrets out to you right now, man. Because he's giving it to us. Like you said, he does nothing. The Lord ain't going to do nothing until he gives his secrets unto his servants. So his servants is what? Bring it out. So we can let the world know. We letting the world know, hey, look, the Lord say this, that, and the other. Now, you either going to believe it, follow it, or guess what? You're going to say, fuck it, I ain't got time for this.
And condemn yourself. That's all you're doing.
That's it.
You got to realize right now, you could say no to this truth right now, but it's going to become a time where, man, even when you say no, you're going to be put to death on sight, man.
That day is coming.
When the Messiah
And look,
returns.
and you ain't gonna look. It ain't about
negotiate.
Look, it ain't about putting the death on sight. Hey, the Lord wants these people to suffer. Hey, look what it say. Death
Yeah,
gonna
the
be far from
lucky
us.
ones
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but a lot of you people ain't gonna get put to death like that. Y'all gonna suffer.
That famine is gonna be the worst of them all, man.
Yeah.
All right. And then you're gonna die in shame because you're gonna probably have eaten a couple. You're gonna be like the dude in the movie. You know, in Snowpiercer. When he said the worst thing he hated about himself that he knows when human flesh tastes like. Right. Yeah, he knew maybe he tastes that. Right. You know, a lot of you gonna go through that, and you're gonna end up starving to death anyway.
Yep.
So you're gonna have that shame, that guilt. All right. You're gonna go to sleep at night and you're gonna keep seeing the face of that baby that y'all killed and ate. You know, your own children, your nephew, the little kid next door that you used to watch rip and run and play, and know you was the one that knocked him over his head. You know, and then y'all cooked his ass, man. Because that's gonna happen.
You're gonna be crying, cutting the body up.
Yeah, you're gonna be crying so bad.
Shit. Hey, but you gonna do it anyway.
They showed you that in The Divide when they told that dude go cut up that dude's body, man. When that big ass Jake was laid out dead. Yeah, you remember that scene? And he couldn't do it.
This is Luke 8 and 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
So all these secrets and all these lies are coming out, man. From the government, from the alphabet agencies, it's all coming out, man. And that's why the average citizen don't trust or believe in them, man.
That's right.
You know?
Hey, at one time we thought Esau was the good guy there. Even with all the crimes
as
and
a kid, man, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So
I never did.
I question history. I used to get in trouble, man.
Oh my goodness.
Because I wasn't no dummy, man. 5th and 6th grade, I'm reading all these stories, you know, and I'm like, can't nobody see these people stole land? And then I would read it, and actually they writing it like they were good guys. They were shooting and killing people. And then they stand up like, I shoot you, then I build a church, a church and a hospital. I mean, a church and a bank and a school. But I just murdered, raped, and robbed, and I saw this as a child. I was like, they not that great, they stole everything. And then man, shut up, man, you think too much.
Yeah, they brainwash you.
Yeah, so it's like, there was a cartoon that came out, a Matrix cartoon that had this dude who was a runner. And he kept waking up. I don't know if you ever seen it. It was a track runner. Yeah, it was an Animatrix, right? And he woke up and basically ended up dying. They killed him, gave him a heart attack. But he woke up to the fact that he was in a Matrix, and they didn't want him to wake up. And that's what the whole story was about. Different people that would wake up, man. You know, and then Jake woke up, man. So I was that rebellious dude who just kept waking up. They're like, why don't you just shut up and stay asleep? Right, this little high yellow ass white boy looking motherfucker keep talking about black shit. You know, what they did to the natives, right?
Like, you ain't even black, man. You high yellow. You almost my complexion.
Right, especially back then.
You mix with Dark City.
You mix with something.
Right, Dark City, Khan. They put the whole, right. Pastor Ramlab turned me on to that movie, man. That was a heavy movie, man.
They were changing everything around when they put people to sleep.
Yeah, you're right. And then people, right. And if you woke up, it was a problem.
Yeah, we ain't right.
But it's always like the simple facts, you know. We know they stole this land from Native Americans. We know the same Romans who crucified our Lord. They turned around and developed some whole other religion.
And then still this land they conquered.
Conquer you stole.
No, he had to make himself like he did.
Yeah, but that's what they'll say that though.
That's what they said. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be in America.
Still be in Africa.
Right.
You'd be African nation.
I was about to say something.
Like the elder always said, man. In some of the greatest cities, well, as a matter of fact, you had a lot of the same structures that you found in Portugal and Spain was also found in the kingdom of Mali and the Timbuktu. Right? Just because they went in there and destroyed everything and tried to come up and hide that history, man. You're right. Going around knocking off all the noses and look. That's why it was so much destruction going over there in them Iraqi wars, man. And that's a cherry right there too, man.
Call lawyer, how about Shemel Shai?
It just appeared out of nowhere. Go ahead, brother.
again, brother. This is the book of Luke 19:27. For those mine enemies, which was not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Right. So, hey, look, like he said though, there's gonna be some people that gonna get brought before the Lord, man. All right. You're gonna get brought before the Lord and King David, man. All right. And you're gonna get put to death, and it's probably gonna not be a very good thing, man. You know, to be brought before the Lord, only to be put to death before Him, and I can only imagine the fear that's gonna be instilled. You know.
The Lord say He's gonna be the ones who fear Him. He say they gonna fear Him.
Done. The Lord angry, man. You know, when He coming back in that godly glory, in His godly glory, man. I can only imagine what His armor and His sword gonna look like, His garments, man. I can only imagine. I don't know, but I know it's gonna look fearsome. And you pray, and you're gonna be looking up at the Lord like this. All right.
Big man.
Yeah, big ass. Oh
right.
my God.
Right. You think Shaq big, right?
You see the Lord.
And we see what Samuel did to Agag. Samuel.
John. I think that's 1 Samuel 15th chapter, man. Matter of fact, get that. Right, because you think he's just gonna off with his head? No, man, you're gonna get hewed in pieces, man. Pain, get chopped up from the feet up. I watched one of them brothers sent one of the videos, man. You know, Jake be down in South America doing the crazy shit to each other, man. And I watched these Israelites. They had this dude tied to a tree with his feet straight out, and his feet were tied, and they had the what you call them, when they put the posts in the ground, the stakes in the ground. So his feet were straight, and they hacked his legs up from the feet up with machete. His shin bones. I know, with one on each leg, and so they could have just killed him. But he tied to the tree with his legs on. They just hacking his shins and his knees. I'm like, fuck.
Torturing.
Who would do some shit like that to your own brother, man? So I'm like, God damn, man, you
All for $1. And disrespect.
And then they just let him bleed out. And they gave him extreme pain and they just bleed out. That's right. And then the animals come and eat on them and shit, man.
It looked like they still into that sacrifice spirit.
So that was some of the most wicked shit I've seen.
It was
But you can hear the sound of it hacking from home, you know?
It was like another dude we was talking about earlier, a couple days ago. They had him tied up like this with his legs and like this, right? He had a fire underneath him. They had guns and shit. They was just whacking his ass, beating him up, whacking him up.
That was just torture.
That's torture. That's a form of torture. That's fucked up. All guys like that over fire. Come on, man.
The physical pain and the mental anguish. It's been easy
That's what we got torture. That's what we're talking about.
It just would have been easier if they just shot the
Man, just kill me. Let me get it over with. But hey, what the Lord say? A lot of people gonna seek death, but death's gonna be far from them.
So look, for the Lord to allow you to suffer that type of death, man, you have to be wicked. And even if you trying to figure out, you know, that what did I do? That they're doing it. Then you don't know what you did in your past life, man. That's why we gotta be looking and asking for mercy, man. You don't know what kind of wickedness.
It's 1 Samuel 15 and 32. It says, Then said Samuel, Bring ye hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him delicately. And Agag said, Surely the bitterness of death is past. And Samuel said,
So he thought he was good. Like, right. The bitterness of death is past. And then Samuel was like, nah, nigga, he took somebody else's soul. Right. Go ahead.
And Samuel said, As thy sword had made woman childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces.
Right, so he didn't give him a death stroke. He hewed him in pieces, which means he lost chunks of flesh, limbs, and things of that nature before he died. That's what killed him. He could have just, hit him in the neck, ran him through under the fifth rib, killed him with his second. But no, it said he hewed him in pieces. So he struck him, and it was probably a deadly blow that didn't kill him, put him down, and then he hacked him in pieces, man. He just didn't stand there. He probably put his hand up and he hacked that arm off. Right. He healed him in pieces, man. Right? You imagine you had used the servant that had to come in and clean that shit up.
It says, and Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before Yahweh.
Before who?
Before Yahweh.
He healed him in pieces before the Almighty Yahweh, man, before who you ignorantly call God, man. That's a man of the Lord, man. You people have no idea what's about to happen, man. All right, so hurry up and get your shit cracked, man. Go ahead and shut this bitch down. Get them force chips. Get your martial law going. Start do what you need to do so the Lord can, do what He needs to do. Right, because as soon as you go to, like we said, man, you always get it. They tying up the napkin. Right, sit down at the table and the Bible. They brought out the pig with the apple in his mouth. Right. They got all the trimmings and the stuffing. That piece of steak is only cooked on the top and the bottom. It's 3 inches thick, and only a quarter of an inch on each side is cooked. In the middle, you got 2 inches of raw meat in the middle. Right?
That's the sign of the Lord with them.
They cups, they don't have wine, they got a drink comb. All right? They ready. Yeah, man, they got drink comb. They ready to not, as soon as they go to, and what is that? That means you set up your new water order, you set up your new digital banking system. Right? You starting to chip people. And then as soon as you go to put your hand on the elect, man, it's fucking home.
I got something to say about that.
Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Obadiah 1. Verse 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Yeah, the only violence the Lord is mad at Esau about is what he did to the children of Israel.
Yeah.
The Lord ain't worried about what he did.
Right, he ain't tripping on what you did to Ammon and Moab, right.
Shit about Ham. You don't care about that. Fuck all of them. What you did to the apple of the Lord's eye. That's
right.
Yeah,
Somebody grab that. Go ahead, grab
This Ecclesiastes, Apocrypha, chapter 4, verse 21. It says, for there is the shame that bringeth sin, and there is the shame which is glory and grace. You know what I'm saying? And look at all the shameful things that Esau Edom have done, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you do and stuff is considered the different acts that's going against the laws, man.
Well, I got one. 2nd Ezra 16 and 65. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
Yeah, that's why he's deleting pages.
What's that again? Never remember that scripture.
2nd Ezra 16, 65.
Man, 16, that's 16 chapter in 2nd Ezra, boy.
I like it. Yeah, that's why the man
go hard.
But it's just like what we previously brought out. The end shall not come to that man of perdition, that son of perdition be revealed. And hey, your sins is being brought forth.
It's been revealed, man.
Being revealed.
That casting covering, that's been uncovered, and guess what? He got uncovered too. Not only we reveal who the other nations are, but we reveal who you were. All right. And then, like you said, you make up lies, all these anti-Sem lies. The laws. Protect that lie. And look, and them dudes from HOI, you can say what you want to say. That's three times, man. 3 strikes and you out. That was HOI that was at that thing in Philly, pushing on them fake Jews, and it looked like it was done strictly for the camera. So the whole conversation, they call them the synagogue of Satan, putting their hands on them, and read Revelation, quote that. And then it was all completely said. And they're saying, we're here for Sodom. Why are you here? No, why are you there? You're a Hebrew Israelite. Pushing the word and the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Shah. What the fuck are you doing at a Black Lives Matter protest, man? That has nothing to do with you. All right? Why are you even there? And like I said, Black Lives Matter is a 95% white organization.
Yeah, it was built on white. It's the white man that started this shit.
You know what?
And they put up 3 lesbian women who are against the Bible and against the patriarchy of the Bible. All right, to be the faces of it. All right, which is this is a low down, dirty move, man. So everything that goes wrong, they put it on a whole different group of people, man.
Can I add?
Go ahead.
Like he say, just like you say, the Black Lives Matter consists of Esau, you know, it's made up of Esau. Because like I do like delivery, or when you go like to the so-called Esau neighborhoods of North and shit
All
like
they
that.
windows.
Yeah, it's all they windows.
The dojo's in Bucktown. All right, so you go through Bucktown, you go through Lakeview, you go through Andersonville, you go all through here, you're gonna see them BLM, and it's all white people.
They got
Like you said, that's a 95% white organization, man. But yet the label is labeled Black Lives Matter.
What they doing is propping up people. They trying to get nurses, tell them they not perfect.
And then when they do shit wrong, they get to make Jake the face of it and to take the blame for it. There it is, man. And you idiots out there are falling for it, man. Man, that chariot moving, man. It ain't standing still.
It's all about that Jacob.
Yeah, it was over here first. It was over the corner of the building. Now it's over there.
You know it ain't no plane, because the plane
No,
was in
it's
it.
sitting there. No, it ain't no other star in the sky. Right, exactly. Hey, look, I've seen that chariot sit over the lake like that. And even when the daylight came up and the sun rose, you could still see it. And I remember Shapatya saw it too, because we both were up early. We both, you know, because my fake one, her place was right down there on Ontario, and I would see it, you know, at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And when the sun came up, it still was, you know, you still could see it. And I know if I saw it, a whole bunch of people saw it. You know, Esau saw it. You know. As a matter of fact, I remember riding in early, and there was this Jake on the train, and you know we were standing at the green line on 35th, and I'm looking up at it, and he like, and you know he looking at me, and I keep looking up at it, and I said, hey, that ain't no star, man. He was like, because it was moving and blinking and changing. He was like, that ain't no star, and I was like, where all the other stars at? And then when I would see him, you know, for the next couple months, I would see him. He's like, bro, every time he said, you got me looking up in the stars. All I said, in the sky all the time. Right. Because he said, I done seen more. I done seen him, man. So I told him what it was. I said, man, that's the chariot of Israel.